Hey guys, I finally got loaded. They had me rush all the way over there to find out it wasn't even a live load. It was a drop and hook, meaning I gotta pick up the load that's already there. I was actually 5 minutes late, but I technically wasn't late at all because it wasn't even a live load. But anyways, so I'm sitting here right now reading some of these comments from my holiday video where I said I don't celebrate Christmas, right? People are hella funny. Not all people, but I'm just saying. I read a few comments, and one that stuck out was this person that decided to leave a long paragraph. I deleted the comment because it was just like negativity. But what was fascinating about this comment is that people suffer from cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance, for people that are not really familiar, it's just a way that the mind tells you that you can indulge in something that you know is either not good for you, or you know it's something like a violation. Whatever it is that is making the situation you're involved in make you uncomfortable to celebrate, or uncomfortable to know the truth, or uncomfortable to break a rule. So what you do is you have cognitive dissonance, where you will tell yourself it's okay, and you'll find ways to, make excuses so that your conscience doesn't bother you. A lot of people do it. For example, a person that might smoke a cigarette, they'll tell themselves they know it's bad for them, but in order to smoke the cigarette without feeling condemned, they'll tell themselves something like, oh, I don't smoke that many in comparison to people that do. Oh, I won't get lung cancer, maybe somebody else will. You know what I'm saying? Things like that. So when I made the video about Christmas, how I don't celebrate it, how I know where the origins, after researching the origins of Christmas and what it really stands for, and how it's not God's, Christ, Jesus, whatever you want to call him, Emmanuel, how it's not really his birthday, but it was a pagan religion to bringing the Santa Claus demonic situation, right? Even within making that video, I also stated the people that celebrate it, knowing that it's pagan, but they just do it because they want to buy a few toys for the kids. I'm not condemning them. I'm not. I'm just basically bringing the facts of what the holiday represents. But you got some people that get so highly offended because it messes with their cognitive dissonance, where they have to now hear the reality. If you don't like the video, just don't listen to the reality and go back into fantasy world. You see what I'm saying? It's not for you now to come and counterattack my video and say, well, I don't see nothing wrong. But clearly this one person says they're a Christian and they believe in the Bible, but they have a Christmas tree and they put gifts under this tree, which is considered an altar for a deity. So I'm just breaking it down. I'm sorry that people don't want to hear the truth. So clearly it's disrupted their cognitive dissonance, where in the same sentence that they said they know that Christmas is a made-up Santa Claus and all that stuff, but they turn around and still say, but I'm going to celebrate Jesus' birthday. But did I not say in the damn video that Jesus's birthday is not even on December 25th? Like, the delusion is real. When they did the research on when Christ was actually born, it was more closer to the time of the Passover. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, why people just don't understand what it's all about and just be okay with that. No one's saying you can't buy the toys to get the kids some toys. Just do it, but knowingly do it. Knowingly do what you're doing and be okay with it. Don't lie to yourself, and don't get mad at people that bring the truth to you. That's all I'm saying. So they attacked me for not knowing who Miss Santa Claus was. I did say that I don't really remember as a kid hearing too much about her. So when I started hearing her about her more and more, it was like, did they add her in this whole story? But that was on my bad. Maybe I just wasn't paying attention to her like that. You see what I'm saying? I was so, as a kid, amused and in awe of this big white man in the sky with a sleigh. And as a kid, I doubted myself as to what was real and what was not real. So I was literally looking at the shows like, can a sleigh really fly in the sky? And I started thinking like, well, what's holding up the sleigh? So the reindeers have wings. So I'm looking for the wings as a kid. This is stuff that, you know, you're making your child now question their sanity. Like what's real and what's not. So I just bought the video to bring some level of awareness to people. Like, even though you like Christmas and the holidays and things like that, nobody's saying you can't celebrate it, but just let your kids know the truth. Say, hey, mommy and daddy's gonna buy you some gifts. That's the religion that people study out in the world. But here in this house, we're going to talk about what's real. Santa Claus is not real, so don't be sitting up there asking mommy to make cookies for you. Let me take out my glass. I think I just broke it. Oh. That's my only pair of glasses. they're prescriptive, but I can see. It's just at night it gets worse with the glare from the traffic lights, and my eyes will struggle. And then by the time I stop driving, I'm like hella tired because my eyes have to strain. So with my stigmatism, you know what I'm saying, and being nearsighted, it does help to have the glasses on sometimes to read the signs or whatever. But I'll manage. I just realized I broke my glasses, so damn it. I may have to, I don't know. I think it's the screw. It don't look like it's like broken. It just, the screw got loose. So I don't want to crazy glue it if it could be fixed, because I could literally crazy glue it right now just to keep it temporarily, but then it might make it worse when I try to close it. But that was just my, you see how the devil works? I'm trying to make a video and my glasses break. So that was just my take. I wasn't really trying to offend nobody from celebrating Christmas. You know, no one's saying you can't celebrate and have a good time with the family. I was just bringing awareness to understanding that the other side of it, the dark side of Christmas, which is the deity worship, the things that exist around that time of the year where people go and they spend thousands of dollars to please family members that they don't even see for years, just to say they call it the spirit of Christmas. Think about that. Think about why they put that name in there, the spirit. Anything dealing with a spirit is a level of possession. You know what I'm saying? So if you're part of the Christmas spirit, they call it the Christmas past, the Christmas present. Like, why can't y'all see that don't sound right? You know what I'm saying? I'm not like criticizing like humans. I'm just saying, just paying attention to how they make up these holidays. And then if you don't got money to buy people stuff, they make you feel bad. I heard something on the radio this morning on my way in. Was it this morning? Or no, I think it was yesterday. And they was like, oh, what did you buy your family for Christmas? So the guy gets on the radio and he's like, oh, I got this and this and this. Everybody was happy. But and then he goes, well, who's the worst gift giver? And he was like, well, I got this auntie. I think he said auntie or great aunt, where she makes things from scratch. You know, she's supposed to be the creative auntie. And he said all her gifts be ugly because she doesn't really know what she's making. And then on top of that, he said something about how, I can't remember, but he said something about what she uses to make the gift makes it look awful. And my thing is this: the fact that she took the time to make you something, I don't care how awful it looks, that's a treasurable moment. So even if you laugh at the fact that it's ugly, you could say, but my auntie loved me enough to make this gift, so I'm going to put it, whether it's on the mantle. Sometimes an ugly piece, like something you create, can actually be worthy. Like even in museums, some of the ugliest things that you might consider ugly is considered art, because that person made it with feeling. So the feeling of what they were thinking can come through that piece of art. So you might be sitting up there one day just bored, and you watching the mantle and you're like, I wonder what auntie was thinking when she made that. Was she in a good mood? What if she passes? You know, she passed away. All those gifts those people bought that could be thrown out, they'll still have auntie gifts sitting on that mantle, watching them like as a memory. Like, I remember this auntie, she used to always come over and bring this, you know, catastrophe, but we love it because it came from her. Like, why couldn't it be that type of attitude? Why it had to be you get on the radio, oh, this auntie, she always bringing these ugly gifts. This is what, to me, the holiday gift giving has become. So people will say, oh, it's just about gift giving. Really? Is it? Really? Or is it about how much you can give? How much money you have to give? Isn't that what it's more about? That's why I said, I don't know, maybe I just think different from a lot of people, or maybe I think what a lot of people think, but they're just too afraid to say what they think. You know what I'm saying? They're too afraid to let people know. Like, I started speaking out against the holidays from 2001. I started talking about holidays. My family was trying to force me to buy Christmas gifts. I would bring a gift once in a while. That's if I feel like it, only because I'm pressured. It ain't got nothing to do with not being able to afford it, none of that. It's just that, because I'm a very giving person, right? I give naturally. But to be forced to give something on a day you don't even like. So all these years, my family used to talk about it, like, especially my mom. She's like, ugh. She used to be a fanatical Christian. She's not a Christian anymore. Ain't that funny? She went from that to Hare Krishna religion, and now she's studying Kemet, right? Don't ask me, child. Whatever. That's her thing. But she was the main one, always used to put up the tree, and everybody got to come bring gifts, right? But growing up as a child, I didn't really get no Christmas gifts. But she used to make me feel bad that I didn't want my kids to celebrate Christmas. So as I said in the other video, my kids were cool with it. Because at the time, we were heavily practicing Islam. I was totally into the garb, totally into going to the masjid. My kids understood the Quran. So we wasn't into all of that flashy holidays. So she used to talk about it when the kids would come over, my kids. And they used to be happy. They're like, we don't need nothing from you, Grandma. We got our toys. We brought our toys with us. And she used to it used to bother her. How is it now in 2023 and 2022, she's the main one talk about all these fake holidays and blah, blah, blah here in America. And now she celebrates Kwanzaa. So she believes to open gifts after the Christmas. So I'm just like, you see why you got to stick to your guns and what you believe in? Because even if a person is in opposition of you at that moment, down the line, they might have to have reconsider and be like, wait a minute. I remember back in the day, there was this lady, she was always talking about pagan holidays and blah, 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 blah. And then when stuff hit the fan for you, when one of your relatives challenge you and say, if you don't bring a gift, don't come over, or some crap like that, and make you reconsider, what the hell is this holiday stuff really about? You feel what I'm saying? So that's why I said that in the video. So for people to be like, oh, well, I read the Bible and I still like to buy gifts and a tree. Nobody cares. Nobody really cares what you do. All I'm doing is bringing truth to you. If the truth hurts, then you have to realize that you are living in delusion land. So don't be mad at videos that bring reality to your life. You feel what I'm saying? If you want to go there and watch the fake videos and what's that Scrooge show? The Grinch and all that, who stole Christmas? Knock yourself out. They make this look bad that if you don't like Christmas, something that you're a bad person, like because you don't like Christmas. All those shows that showed you that anybody that didn't like Christmas was a bad person. If you think about it and you go back and watch all those old shows, it was all about promoting brainwashing that you have to be in the spirit. Remember the word, the spirit. You have to be in the spirit of Christmas or something is wrong with you. Now I get it. People feel nice, like to give, because like the Salvation be out there with the Salvation Army with the donations. I give to that charity, whether it's Christmas or not. But in the spirit of giving, they call it, they make you feel compelled to do it their way, to celebrate it their way. You feel what I'm saying? So just be mindful of the brainwashing that happens here in this American society. I can't speak for other countries. I could only speak for what's here. So I'm just saying, from what I observe, this is the shit that goes on. So when I say a video, I always try to say, this is my opinion, but I'm also bringing some facts at the time or whatever. But a lot of times it's just my opinion. You don't have to agree, but you don't got to get in the comments and make me feel like I need to be persuaded as to why you disagree. I don't need your persuasion as to why you disagree. Now, if you come in with a valid fact, like, hey, I looked up this particular date and it shows that this person, blah, 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 was born on this day, then yeah, you can make the comment and say, okay, well, in opposition to what you're saying, I have some type of research which shows this is not true. That's different, because now you're bringing an awareness to me. But if you're just saying it just to be saying it because you and your feelings, because you don't like to hear the truth, that's not my effing problem, and I will delete the comment. Simple as that. I'm not going to entertain buffoonery, and I'm not going to entertain disillusion. If you're in la la land, knock yourself out. But anyways, y'all, I just had to say that, because I was reading the comments and I'm like, wow, there's people out here that literally feels like you can't tell the truth. Just like when I made the video this morning about truckers. You might have some truckers that feel some type of way. I'm not talking about like truckers that just mind their business. I'm talking about truckers that are involved in what's going on in society, with the gossip, with the, the naysayers, whatever. They might say, well, why is she talking about that? I feel like you should talk about things that bring awareness. So that way, when somebody new come in on the scene, you know what I used to hate, especially in high school? You'll know that there's a bunch of mean girls or a bunch of guys that go around bullying people. And then you only have like 1 or 2 people out of the whole school that will be kind enough to bring awareness to the new people. The rest of the spectators will sit back and watch the new person get indoctrinated, or how you say it, when you initiated into the bullshit. So if that means they got to do humiliation rituals on the kid, take him in the toilet bowl and push his head in there, all the sick stuff that they do in middle school and high school to one another, right, as kids. You'll have like only 1 or 2 people that'll come up to that new kid and be like, hey, you got to watch your back, because there's a lot of shystiness in these schools. The kids are this and this and that. You won't even have teachers that'll warn the kid. You'll have the teacher act like she don't know that there's some badass students in her class fucking with people. She'll just sit there like doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. And as in chapter 2, listen up, guys. Meanwhile, somebody's getting their head bashed in the back of her class, and she's just like, hey, hoo-hoo, hoo-hoo. Goddamn well, you should have warned that new student, hey, there's a few kids in this class. I don't even want you to be sitting over there. We're trying to figure out how we're going to work against this bullying stuff and what they got going on. So we want you to feel protected. You sit on this side. Sit on this side with the quiet kids. If you decide to go over there, that's on your own free will. I don't say I didn't warn you. That's what a good teacher would do. And you'll have like 1 or 2 classmates that'll be like, don't go over there, because that's where the mean kids be. But the rest of the class will just sit there and laugh at the new kid's expense. And that's what I hate. I hate bullying with a passion. I wish all the bullies could go on an island and just burn themselves. Like, that's how I feel about them. But at the end of the day, part of the only good thing that comes out of bullying is that it brings out the best in the victim. Sometimes. Because sometimes it makes them feel worse. And then they do worse things, like unaliving themselves or unaliving other people, or just going into their shell of themselves and not really, coming out into their best potential. So you're going to have that in the trucking community as well, where they doing all kind of mean stuff to the new people, or they doing all kind of mean stuff to one another, and nobody will talk about it. Everybody just be like, oh, don't say nothing, because then it might happen to you. So we just going to keep letting people just be abusive in the trucking community and nobody say anything? What that does, it makes it the norm if people don't speak out. If you keep letting people get bullied, degraded, humiliated, talked about, and y'all don't do nothing to help one another, I'm not talking about the actual people that are perpetrating this stuff. I'm talking about the people that have a problem with it and they just spectating. Now, I'm not saying go start a protest, but little by little, if we call out the behavior, and you do what you need to do to call out the behavior, to stop the behavior. We're not saying you're going to be able to stop it overnight, but it usually starts with calling out the behavior. It's embarrassing that black people act like that. We ain't got no decorum, no class. I'm not saying all black people, so don't come for me. This is for the people that are what I speak about. They're in the trucking community, wrecking havoc on it. Okay? So I'm not going to get into the details yet, because little by little, like I said, I have this channel where I speak my mind. It's going to be people that might, they little feathers might get ruffled. But you know what? I can't be fake anymore. This is 2024. This is going to be the year of the fearless. If you are fearful, you're not going to make it in 2024. Because 2024, in my opinion, is going to be the year of the soldiers, the year of the warriors, the year of the people that really, really understand what it means to pick up that sword and fight. And I don't mean physically. So don't y'all start talking about violence. I'm talking about mentally. Being mentally capable of being able to distinguish evil and knowing what to do in the face of evil. Because there's going to be so many ways that Satan presents itself. You see what I'm saying? Satan doesn't just do all the work. He has minions, jinns, demons, whatever you want to call it. Satan is the mastermind of manipulation. I got something to talk and I forgot I had a sandwich here. Avocado, turkey and cheese, salami. So, that's why I'm making these videos, because you don't see too many people calling out stuff, bringing facts, bringing truth. That's what I feel like I want to do. I don't want nobody to stop me. That's what I want to do. They tried to stop me last year when I was on a roll. I was on a roll and they tried to stop me last year, right? But I really didn't understand YouTube at that time. I didn't understand like clicks and stuff like that, because, you know, social media was new to me. My kids was the one that told me to get on social media. They was like, Ma, your stories are mad interesting. Get on social media. I'm like, nah, because I'm private. I know you don't seem that way, but I'm really like a introvert. But I do have high confidence to the point where my introvert traits doesn't outshine my extrovert. I have small extrovert traits, big introvert. But my extrovert be so loud because I'm a little bit like, I'm hyper to a point. But then I have my downtime. So in my hyperness, I'm going to speak my mind. I'm going to speak the truth. And the truth is, there's a lot of people out here that be taking advantage of people that don't know their strength. And the reason why I didn't call them weak is because a lot of weak people are actually strong. They just don't know it yet. So I'm here to wake y'all up. If you think you can't do it, we need to have a conversation. So at some point, as I'm making my YouTubes, I'm going to be getting with people and I'm going to be picking your brain. I'm going to be trying to figure out what's stopping you. Like, what's your obstacle in life? What is making you afraid? Because that's what it all boils down to. You get afraid and then you stop your journey somewhere down the line, right? We don't want that. We want the afraid people, the fearful people to stop hiding in the back of the class, come up to the front and let yourself be known. That's what 2024 should bring. Let yourself be known on a bigger scale. Whatever you're doing in life, let yourself be known on a bigger scale. Let it be known to others what you're trying to do, and just make it happen. Just make it happen. Don't be afraid. And I'm going to end with this because I'm about to get back on the road. I have my little lunch. And I'll talk to you guys later. Love y'all. Bye.